Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I've been a little bit MIA, lots of things going on in my personal world, and I'm going to be painfully honest. I am exhausted tonight. I have laundry that I'm attempting to get done, so hopefully you won't hear my washer and dryer in the background. I've kind of closed some doors, so hopefully you won't be able to hear that. But you might hear a little bit of rumbling, and I need to do some packing because I am gearing up for a business trip this week, and I had a funeral to attend and a wedding reception. Wanted to get to the wedding. The funeral kind of superseded that because I had to sing at the funeral and work at the luncheon. Small town life, you wear many hats. If you come from a small town, I'm sure that you know how that all works. So anyway, there's that. So how are you all doing? I have been loving seeing all of the comments, and I'm gonna try and be peppier. I'm so sorry. I'm just not feeling it right at the moment. I need to get myself geared up here. Let's see. Where do I begin? You can see I've been waving around papers, and I've got some information that I want to share. I guess where I'll start out with, first and foremost, is my, as the title suggests, as always, my Topiramate update. I have gained 4 pounds. Do I like it? No. And I have been just sitting there for probably about 3 weeks. And I told this to one of you in a comment within the last 2 or 3 days. I don't know why. I don't know if the Topiramate is just not working, or I know I need to be eating a bit better, but it's just not going quite as quickly as it did back in December. I am considering increasing my dosage, which for those of you who are new here, welcome. I try to educate you on my journey of what I'm feeling and experiencing while I am taking Topiramate. I am currently on a 50 milligram per day dosage that I take each night before I go to bed. And I share it with all of you to let you know what symptoms I experience, my highs, my lows, my happiness, and my frustrations of it all. So, and I encourage you that if you are new here and you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and keep coming back to find out what is happening. And if you have questions, also to ask down below, because I do try very diligently to answer all questions that I can. Disclaimer, I am not a physician. I'm a normal human being, just like all of you. I just never saw anything out there for Topiramate or any other diet pill on the market, or prescription, I guess I should put it that way, for any kind of support. And so that's why I kind of did a 360 on my channel and started doing this on Topiramate. So subscribe and click the notification bell so that you know when I upload. I try to upload once a week, although this last couple weeks has been quite hectic for me, so my deepest apologies for not getting to you sooner. You've all been on my mind, trust me, and I constantly watch for any new questions and concerns that you may have, and again, I try to reach out to each and every one of you and respond. I have had one person that's actually been responding to me through Instagram, and no, you are never a bother to me. And anyone else that wants to reach out to me through DMs on Instagram, that's perfectly fine as well. If you want to reach out to me there versus posting underneath the videos for a bit more privacy, that's perfectly fine as well. I don't mind either way. It's okay. Just know that it's truly okay. So that's where I am right now with a 4-pound gain. No, I'm not happy. Even though I'm not happy, I'm not beating myself up over it right at this moment. Just because I've been sitting and spinning, so to speak, right there. And because I'm deliberating if I want to go to a higher dosage. Just because I know that at a little bit higher dosage, my extremities would start to tingle. And I did have a viewer also mention that that is your body depleting the calcium. So thank you to that viewer who made that comment. So make sure that you are taking a calcium supplement. But also make sure that you are drinking plenty of water, and make sure that it's, it also depends too on how much calcium that you have in your diet and everything. You don't want to overload your system, all things in balance, because if you overload your system, you could potentially create like gallstones or kidney stones. So nothing is an exact science, but everything has to be in balance. You don't want to create problems that aren't there, if that makes sense, okay? If you are already, maybe drinking a ton of milk or eating a lot of yogurt or, eating a lot of cheese and things like that, if you are getting the calcium, you may not necessarily need a calcium supplement. Talk to your doctor. I can't express that enough. Talk to your doctor about it. And if needed, you may want to ask for a blood test just to see what your calcium levels are, if that is a concern for you. That is the most surefire way to know what your calcium levels are. I believe it's a blood test. If it is a different test, please correct me down below. Again, because I'm not a doctor, not a nurse. I'm not in the medical field whatsoever. So I'm just here to share with you my story. So, but again, all things in moderation. Something that I wanted to share with you is, which I have shared in previous videos, for those of you who have been here with me for a while, you know that I have dealt with anxiety and depression. And my daughter was telling me about a supplement called 5-HTP. And it's kind of a serotonin supplement. And so I decided to try that. And the dosage that it came in was a 500 milligram, or excuse me, not 5, I digress, 200 milligram capsule, like one of those little dissolvable veggie capsules. So it kind of breaks down, gets into your system faster, okay? I got it a week ago, this past Friday, a week ago. So almost a week and a half ago. Believe it or not, and I wasn't sure if it was, I was telling her about this the other night. I'm not sure if it was kind of like a placebo effect, but I felt like instantaneously that afternoon, because I took it like at noon when I got home, it was in the mail. I felt better. I was like, wow, am I crazy, or am I just really feeling more like myself, like actually like a human being again, okay? So I was kind of excited about that. And so I began to take it on a daily basis. By Sunday, now that I just got it on Friday, and I know some of you may be going, okay, you're just nuts. But if you pay attention to your body and how you feel and how you know that you normally behave, how you know that you normally are without, before taking something versus when you start taking something, if you're cognizant of how you feel, you'll notice changes, okay? And so Sunday and Monday, and especially Monday, I was an absolute emotional wreck. I believe that it really and I'm not quite sure what else was in there, and I apologize because I don't have that information in front of me, and I should have before I started the video. But if you look up 5-HTP, you'll be able to see what all is in that particular product. But I think for me, it was just too much of the serotonin. It increased my serotonin levels to a point where it was just making me so emotional that just everything was making me weep. I just cried about everything. Everything was just at such a heightened level. And so I stopped taking it. And I think it's one of those things where it could pop for me. And this was just because my daughter can take it every day, and it seems to help her. She does fine. She feels good. She does good. You know, because everybody's body is different, she does fantastic on it. For me, it is way too much, and because of it being in a little veggie gel cap, I can't cut it in half or cut it in a fourth or anything like that because it's in a powder in the veggie cap. Okay. So I believe that if I were to take it maybe once a week or something, it could potentially be okay. But for me to take it on a daily basis is an absolute no-no. It just really made me an emotional wreck. So I'm just letting you know what I went through, just to be aware if you do struggle with anxiety and depression, and you're looking for something natural to try to help you without having to be on another prescription. And if you had heard of 5-HTP and you were considering it, I'm just letting you know what happened to me. And I was in a really, really, really dark place. I really, it was quite scary for me. Everything was making me emotional. It didn't matter what it was. I cried about absolutely everything. So always do your homework. You are your own best advocate, whether you are at the doctor or whether you are going to the drugstore to look at pills on the shelf. Always do your research. Always, always, always. And always pay attention to how your body and your mind feel. If you get taking something like me when I was taking the 5-HTP, and a few days in and something seems drastically wrong, reevaluate. You know, I think for me, and maybe none of the rest of you have ever felt like this, sometimes I can start taking something and kind of, I get into a mode of taking something and kind of forget about it. And then I can have something happen, an outburst or whatever, you know, and go, wow, why am I feeling this way? Or why am I behaving like this? And then go, you know, I don't readily think about, just like with the 5-HTP, on Monday I was in such a dark place going, oh my gosh, I'm just, you know, ooh, and I'm bawling about everything. And then it dawned on me, finally, oh my gosh, and so then I started to dig in. I started to Google and really do some more research to say, you know, can this, you know, if it was too high of a dosage, can this do things to me? Can this make you maybe more depressed or weepy or things like that? And so as of today's date, which is Sunday, which is the actual finale of Game of Thrones, if you are a Game of Thrones lover, a friend of mine got me started on Game of Thrones. I binge watched it and got completely caught up, and tonight is the finale, and I'm so excited to see how it ends. So yes, but as of today's date, so that way you know what day this is, I'm not taking the 5-HTP. I'm going to keep it and maybe take it maybe once a week on occasion as I need it, but it's definitely not a day-to-day thing for me. Again, do your homework. You have to. You have to. You can't always count on somebody else doing it for you or that somebody else is going to know. We have to put our little investigator hats on and we have to do our research to protect ourselves. Okay? Another thing that someone had mentioned to me, another viewer, that she has used, and so I had told her that I wanted to mention it here, was the 16-8 intermittent, that's a mouthful, fasting. And I found it was called A Beginner's Guide, and it's on healthline.com. That was where I found mine. And no sponsorship, no nothing. This was just something that I found. And it's basically that you only eat during an 8-hour period, you know, your regular meals within an 8-hour period, and you fast for 16 hours. And it doesn't matter which 8 hours that you choose, but then you fast for 16 hours. So I just want to read to you real quick a little bit. The 16-8 version of intermittent fasting restricts eating to an 8-hour window. Let's see here. I lost where I was at. During that time, you're allowed to eat what you want with no calorie restrictions. During the 16-hour fasting period, you can and should drink plenty of water, black coffee, and tea are fine too. What time works best? Keeping your eating window earlier, say from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., seems to be the most beneficial. The body's biological clock is primed to eat earlier in the day, explains Courtney Peterson, PhD, Assistant Professor of Nutrition at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. In most people, blood sugar control is best in the morning and gets worse as the day progresses. You also digest food faster in the morning, so there's a metabolic advantage to eating earlier in the daytime, she says. But if that time frame seems unrealistic, don't worry. Recent findings suggest that bumping your eating window just a bit later, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., could also be effective for weight loss. So if you're looking for something that could potentially help you, you can try the 16-8 intermittent fasting as a potential for you. And so thank you, viewer, for sharing that, and I am definitely looking more into that myself. Something else that I had told you last time that we were going to delve into a little bit was the next weight loss pill, and this was an over-the-counter pill, is Alli. Do y'all remember that? I believe that it is still available. Alli is a 60 milligram over-the-counter version of Orlistat Xenical, 120 milligram prescription drug. Both Alli and Xenical are meant to be used as part of a weight loss plan that includes low-calorie, low-fat diet and regular physical activity. Now, I know a friend of mine several years ago had tried it, and she did not like it because I'm going to be, as always, raw, upfront, and honest. She had greasy, oily stools because of how it kind of takes the fat in the foods that you eat and gets rid of it out of your system. It does say to talk to your doctor immediately if you have signs or symptoms that may indicate liver injury, itching, loss of appetite, yellow eyes or skin, light-colored stool, or brown urine. Oh, yummy. There's always some great side effects with everything, isn't there? And these side effects, those other ones were just about liver disease. Let's get into the long list of side effects, shall we? Abdominal pain or discomfort, oily discharge from the anus, told you. Gas with oily anal discharge. I'm gonna be blunt here. Do you really want to fart and have oil coming out? You're at a party, something happens, what are you gonna do? Think about it. Just saying. I know I shouldn't probably be laughing. I know, I'm sorry. because I just think of myself, and that would be so embarrassing. That would not be a good thing. Oily stools, which they already said, oily discharge from the anus. More frequent bowel movements, urge or hard to control bowel movements. So you're not only going to fart oil, you're probably going to poop your pants too. Wow. Other possible side effects include headache, back pain, upper respiratory infection. When shouldn't you take Alli? Before taking Alli, talk to your doctor about possible interactions with other medications, particularly if you take medications for any of the following conditions: diabetes, thyroid disease, irregular heartbeat, cardiovascular disease, seizures, HIV. It's also important to check with your doctor if you've had gallbladder problems, kidney stones, pancreatitis, irritable bowel syndrome. And Alli is not recommended if you are at a healthy weight, have had an organ transplant, are taking cyclosporine. Excuse me, wait a second, let me reread that word. Cyclosporine. Where did they come up with these words? I don't know. Have problems already absorbing food, are pregnant or breastfeeding. That's a big thing. Anytime you go to take any medication, always check with your doctor, especially if you are pregnant, thinking about being pregnant, or if you're breastfeeding. And it says, how long do I need to take Alli? Let's see here. A weight loss plan, I was trying to skim down through to see if it gave me, it's basically saying within a few months. A weight loss plan with diet, exercise, and drug therapy is generally considered successful if you lose about 1 pound a week during the first month and have lost 5% or more of the pre-treatment body weight within 1 year. If the treatment is successful, you are more likely to keep the weight off or lose more weight if you continue with the diet, exercise, and drug treatment plan. Most weight loss with medication occurs within the first few months. If you adhere to the diet and exercise plan and have not lost at least 5% of your initial body weight within a few months, continuing the medication may be of little benefit. If you haven't lost 5% of your body weight within a year on the plan, discontinuing the drug would be a reasonable choice. The risks, side effects, and costs associated with taking the medication likely override any potential benefit. So there you go with Alli. I really wanted to cover that, and I knew about the oily stools and such, but I wanted to actually get a printout and read to you all of the information so that you are better informed before you go to the store and say, maybe I should get something like that. Then again, maybe not. On a side note, how many of you out there watch the beauty community? I am hooked right now because there is quite an interesting saga going on between Toddy Westbrook, Jeffree Star, and James Charles. And they're trying to get Shane Dawson pulled in on that as well. If you are not into the beauty community, you can just disregard on that. But like Game of Thrones, it's going to be interesting to see who does get the throne in the beauty community. And the drama channels are having quite a challenging time keeping up with all of the videos, and it's quite interesting. So even when Game of Thrones is over, if you are looking for something to keep you entertained, you can always switch over to watching the beauty community. I usually watch Peter Mon and Rich Lux. Those two are quite hilarious, and they keep up quite well in the beauty community of what is happening with all the drama. It's just interesting, and I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I think that's it. I feel better already. Just coming and talking to you guys, it always makes me feel better. And I hope that this video finds you all doing well. And if you are just starting on the Topiramate, you know, hang in there. It takes a few days to kind of get acclimated to it. But if you are having some kind of what you feel like are severe side effects, you need to talk to your doctor immediately. You know, don't just come here and, you know, watch the videos. But if you are having some severe side effects, contact your doctor immediately. Don't wait. It's not worth that. You need, first and foremost, you need to take care of your body. That's what's got to come first, okay? You need to take care of yourself. So, with that, I'm going to get off of here, finish doing my laundry, go let the dogs in because they're out in their little doggy pen outside, enjoying the warm weather. So I pray that you are healthy, that you are happy, that you are safe. And I pray that you have peace in your life. Until we meet again, my friends, have a fantastic new week. Continue with all the commenting down below. And I might even film from a remote location this week. You just never know, depending on how things go. Or I might even do a car vlog. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Or I might just wait until I get home. We'll see. But I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye, guys.